Practice. Last year, I sat down with today's guest and asked him how putting employees first, even before their customers, could help generate growth for a company. He explained that this formula was fostering an atmosphere of innovation that resulted in creating a superior customer experience. This year at the C-Suite Conference in Boston, I was excited to revisit this concept with Matt Preschern, the EVP and CMO of HCL Technologies, and find out if their strategy was still paying off. What has changed and what is on the horizon at HCL Technologies. Matt also gave us an exclusive peek into their new brand partnerships that are helping to drive growth at the company. So you're marketing to the employees in the same manner that you would market to the outside network.
Correct. And then what I would say is, for example, I was in Seattle last week, right? We have 4 major delivery centers in the U.S., one in Seattle, one in Frisco, one in Cary, where we won the Governor's Employer of the Year Award for 2015.
Where, Cary?
Cary, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
And so we have, globally, we have a big, location, various locations, but one, we have in Poland, in Krakow. We just opened one in Tallinn, in Estonia. We have presence in Oslo. But we make also an effort to visit our employees and engage with them. So we have 850 people in Seattle, right in the heart of where we work with Microsoft, actually one of our strategic partnerships. You may have seen we launched an IoT, Internet of Things incubation lab with Microsoft, right? And so again, we communicate with our employees, we also engage, and what you'll then see is, I think, and maybe this is a little bit different to other companies, we do not have a corporate structure where every senior leader resides in corporate headquarters.
You're everywhere. I mean, you're Austrian by birth, and you live here in New Jersey or in the States. I don't know if it's New Jersey.
It's New York.
In New York, okay. But then a lot of your leadership's in India, and then where else are they at?
So we have, I'll start with the U.S. We have one of our leaders on the West Coast. We have one of our key global infrastructure leaders who lives and works out of Cary, North Carolina. I happen to work out of New York. We have 2 of our most senior leaders, the head for global financial services out of London, including the head of sales for all of Europe. And then we have other leaders who also work, for example, on the delivery side out of India. But what it creates is, I think it creates an environment where all of us, including myself, are very close to what I call the reality on the ground, right? And what it also allows us, and I'll just mention this, we had 2 customer advisory councils and a major meeting with 60 of our biggest customers.
Are these global customers?
These are global customers, which we do just about every 6 months now. And for those of you who've run them, they can be, they're an open forum for dialogue, and they can be somewhat uncomfortable.
Contentious is going to be a good word.
Yes, and what we put upon ourselves is we want to hear from you. You're telling us tell us, is our strategy right? Are we pursuing the right, going into the digital space that we were doing, do you agree with that? As we pursue our IoT efforts, tell us how we can do that better. But then most importantly, what are we doing today that you would like us to improve upon? And I think what differentiates us as a culture in some ways is, I think, we've all heard the culture eats strategy, for lunch.
Drucker said that.
Right. But I think the real question then is, how quickly can you move from feedback to action and tangible impact?
This has been Executive Perspectives with Jeffrey Hazlett. I've been joined by Matt Preschern, the EVP and Chief Marketing Officer of HCL Technologies.